What is going on, Teach Better family? It's Wednesday. It's 5 o'clock Eastern time, which means this is your Teach Better brain break. Hope you're having a good week and hope you're having a good day. I've got a special guest because Dave is like too cool to be here, I guess, anymore. Dave's on a plane somewhere. So I've got Brianne Funnel with us here. We're going to hang out. We're going to talk about her new book and anything else going on in her world as well. So if you're with us now, drop in the comments. Let us know where you're at. What are you taking a break from? Do you have any questions for Bree or anything else you want us to chat about or goof around about? But we'll be back in about 1 minute. I want to see you in the comments. We'll see you back here in a second. All right, here we are. What is going on, Bree? How are you?
I'm doing well. I was just dancing. I thought Baby Luke was also dancing to that music. That intro gets me every time.
Yeah, it sounds
funny because my whole family knows that intro song. So I'm like,
well, yeah, based on like how many 12-hour lives you've been a part of or been hanging with us all day on, I'm assuming they've heard that a lot.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Yeah, I know, Alex. I said like a minute, and then right before we got off, I'm like, "I'll see you in a second." I knew like that's not a second, but whatever. But good to see you. Nice to see you, Andrea. Alex is here as well. So Bree, you're here. How you like? You haven't been? Have you been home long? Because you were at school today. How long have you been home? An hour, maybe? Not even.
Yeah, okay. 1 hour. I've been home in an hour.
Yeah, we brought it back to all Eastern time here because Dave messed that up a little bit ago when he moved down to like the part of Florida that's not Eastern. And we're all Ohio today. So like we're representing the right state. Yes. So anyone, yeah, you are not the only one who dances.
No.
And definitely everyone else dances. However, we would like to see you dance. If you'd ever like to, take a video of that, post it, share it on social media, that'd be great. But anyway, Bree, so we got here. Dave was in New Jersey working with a bunch of teachers, and he's like possibly on a plane right now. I'm not sure if he's on yet, but he's on his way to get on a plane. And so here you are. And it kind of worked out well because you just put out another book because, why not? So, all right. So this is your third book now, correct?
Yeah.
This is your third.
This is my third book, yeah.
All three with EduMatch, correct?
Yep.
So you had Play Yay, and then you had Play Yay Baby Talk.
Yes.
And now you have Choose Your Cheer.
Yes.
So let's talk about that for a minute.
And there might be some more in the works.
I would imagine. So we'll get there. We're gonna get there. But so let's go all the way back. So Play A was your first.
Yes.
All right. So give me what the heck is Play A, and then give me how that then came into Play A Baby Talk, and then we'll dive into the new book. So give us like the quick synopsis on those ones, and we'll dive into the new one. Is that cool?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. So if you guys have been hanging out for a while, you'll know that play is definitely my thing. I love to integrate play into my classroom, and I teach first and second graders, and I have a loop. And so I did, so famous. Sorry, I'm laughing at the comments. So Play was my first book. It's about my son, Lucas, and just like the magic of a cardboard box, that's our quick synopsis, but all the things that can happen when you let kids use their imagination and just kind of play along with them. Play A Baby Talk then came along when I had my son Max, and I was like, well, I can't have my first kid be in a book and not my second kid. That could cause like so many therapy sessions later on. So I incorporated Max into this book, and it was all, it was almost like a journal of that beginning time, because all the cute, funny things that Lucas said, I incorporated into the book about his brother and just like kind of that transition time when you bring a new sibling into the home. And then Choose Your Cheer is probably my most like book that deals with like SEL topics. I thought it was a great time to re-release this book because cheerleading is just they just announced like during the Olympics that it is going to be an official Olympic sport, I think in 2024. And so I was like, oh yeah, I contacted EduMesh and I was like, I really think this is a good time to release this book into the world. And this book is based off of my niece, Helena. And at the time, she did do cheerleading. And can I just say, like, shout out to her. Like, she is the most unique teenager. She has such a big heart and she is just like unapologetically herself. And so if she's listening or watching, I just want to say that I love you. And I am so proud to be your aunt. But in this book, Lena goes around and she like helps other people and she cheers them on. So the book isn't actually about cheerleading. It is about helping others and using the unique gifts that you have to make other people's lives better. And then in this book, there is a teenager in this book and he's like, I have like no idea, like I don't have anything to offer. And Lena kind of helps him like, hey, we'll come to this school and volunteer and, read with these kids. And it just like, it shows that everybody has the ability to share the unique gifts that they have been given to make other people's lives better. And then when you start something like that, it catches on. And then you see more and more people passing along, kind of like when you were doing your Clear the List. And I keep bringing this up, but I feel like right now, teachers, they're posting these Clear the Lists because, it's a hard time of year. There's different things they need, whether it's Kleenexes, whether it's extra masks in their classroom, whether it's cleaning supplies, whatever they need. But Jeff, you hopped on Twitter and you kind of started this like, hey, I'm helping these teachers. But if you can help them, do that too. And so I had my own Clear List, but I started just buying a few things here and there. So it's kind of like that. It's like the kindness is contagious. Let's pass it on. And, even if you can't give a little, even if it's not even something that you're buying, if it's just something that you're doing for somebody else, that it can make a huge difference.
Well, Cheer is contagious. I don't know if you've ever watched Disney's Zombies. Have you ever seen Zombies, the movie?
I don't think so. Oh, I've seen Descendants.
It's all around. It's not all around, but like the primary focus of that movie is Cheers, the Cheer Squad. And the one time it's like Cheers contagious. Anyway,
I love it. But great tagline.
Anyway, so first off, I have so many things I want to go back to. One, I never even had you introduce yourself, so we need to do that real quick. So do the quick. You touched on it, but give us the quick 30-second. Who the heck is Bree, real quick?
So I am Brianne Fennell. I am a teacher, first and second grade. I am a tech coach at my building. I am a Teach Better ambassador and a Teach Better blogger. I'm actually a lead ambassador for professional learning opportunities for our team. And I don't even know. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I like to write. So I think that's just a quick overview of
Ohio
me.
Teacher of the Year, but whatever.
That did happen. Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll say it.
Thank you.
So, and then you said that, so cheerleading is going to be an Olympic sport in 2024?
Yeah.
No kidding. That's interesting.
Isn't that cool?
That's
well,
really
and cool. Skateboarding, my son Lucas, he's totally into skateboarding. And so that was really cool, kind of seeing some really young Olympians.
Oh, yeah. They're so young now. It's crazy. That's cool. That's neat. I don't know if you know, like, that won't go into this, but years ago when I worked with the World Freerunning Parkour Federation, I helped organize and put on a massive event out. We took over to Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas for a parkour event that we were combined with one of the biggest cheer competitions in the world.
Wow.
And that stuff is incredible. It was 7 days of glitter and bows and marching and just, I mean, the discipline and the athleticism that they have, like, it was crazy, like massive stage. It was cool. So So I feel like it's this weird, like this unique, like appreciation. Even I don't have like a direct connection necessarily to anybody who cheers stuff, but like I have this appreciation for that level. It's crazy. So that'll be fun to see. Anyway, all right. So other questions that I have. So let me ask you this. I'm curious about this. So you're 3 books in.
Yes.
When you were younger, not necessarily when you were a kid, but even like high school, even when you were going through college or when you first started teaching stuff, was being an author something you always wanted to do, or was it something that kind of found its way to you? Like, how did that happen? Was that something like you were pursuing, like you knew you wanted to do, or what?
Yes, absolutely. I wanted to be an author. I think it started in first grade, and we had this thing that was called Publishing Shop. And so if you had your books ready to be published, you got to go with like the PTO, and they had this like workshop where you go to Publishing Shop, you get a little sticker for your book. They wrapped it in like old wallpaper samples, or they used the old binding machine, and then you got to color with like the smelly markers. It was like the best time of my life. Can I just tell? I mean, I had children and got married, but Publishing Shop, that was where it was at.
I had children and got married, but
right.
Okay, so you knew early on that you wanted to be an author, right? So then, I mean, you've been with Sarah in EduMatch team over there for all 3 books. I'm assuming all future books, most likely too.
Yeah.
How did that connection happen? How did you get connected with Sarah in EduMatch?
Well, I don't know if you know this, but being an author is hard. Like, you submit manuscripts, and there's a lot of like rejection that comes, through that before you find the right fit. So if there's anybody who's listening and you're like, I really have this story and I want it to get it out in the world, like, don't quit if it doesn't happen the first time or the third time or the 7th time. But when I was actually, for my, this book hasn't even been released yet. Actually, the first one that I signed with Sarah hasn't even been out yet. So that will be a surprise. But it just so happens that we've gotten these other 3 done and have come out first. But when I met with Sarah and I was between these 2 companies, like, there was just this instant, a feeling of like safety. I don't know if that makes sense. Like,
it makes a lot of, well, when you know Sarah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. It was just like such a good connection, and it was so easy. And it was like, okay, I feel like my stories are going to be like taken care of here at this company. And so I was so happy to work with her. And I mean, she's a teacher, an educator. Like, she just lives her life, to do good by people. Like, she's just an amazing person. And so when you work with her and you work with Mandy, you just feel like you're being appreciated, and they understand like the time constraints that come with teaching and with all the other projects I'm involved in. So I just feel like I'm so super happy. So shout out to EduMatch and all of the other authors that I get to work with, because I feel like it's just a great down to earth group of people.
Yeah, we love the EduMatch family and we got lots of EduMatch family inside the Teach Better family, and it's just a whole big community. I love it. So, all right, I'm gonna go. So I pulled up, because recently I've been doing a lot of like grabbing these like conversation starters and stuff, but I specifically pulled up for you. I don't know, I don't even know what site it's on. What site is it on? I swear I didn't even realize this connection. It's actually on teachervision.com. Didn't even realize that. I just saw the title. That's suggested author interview questions.
I love it.
So I want to run through it. So you already answered number 1, which is when did you realize you want to be a writer?
Right.
So this is a really good one, because you mentioned the time and the schedule. So question number 2 kind of go together. So question 2 is how long does it take to write a book? Question 3 is what is your work schedule like when you're writing? So kind of combining those of I co-wrote Teach Better, which is a different style book than the books that you're writing. So they're different, right, but still a lot of similarities in the process stuff. But how can you kind of walk us through, like, what is your writing process? How long does that process take for a book like Choose Your Cheer? And what are do you make shifts in your work schedule, like your personal schedule and work schedule? Like, how do you make that happen while you're teaching? You're being a mom. You're involved in so many other things outside of your classroom related to school. Kind of, can you wrap that all into one big answer? Is that possible?
Sure. I
There's
think
38
that,
things. Can you answer them all? Like, it's
yes.
my style.
I have also, I know Dave said that I need to like take it easy on you. So I do have a beverage. I want to show you that is Dr. Pepper Zero.
Yeah, mine is not Dr. Pepper. Mine's just coming off ice.
I also have, because I worked out at CrossFit, I had to throw it in there because I cannot talk.
You don't
not
do CrossFit
talk
if you
CrossFit.
don't talk. Yeah, you can't not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have my Go Noodle water bottle.
Nice.
I'm also Go Noodle ambassador. I didn't mention.
Are you
that.
really? Okay.
I am. Yeah. Okay. So back to your question. So I had to do that for Dave.
How long does it take you to do a book? Let's use Choose Your Cheer as like the focus. Like, how long was the process between I have this idea to okay, I have a book?
Yeah. So my process is usually I plan and I write like as I go. So it stays up in my head for a lot longer before I actually put it onto paper. So like I don't often have like I'm going to add some things here and there. Like usually it's like I'm going to spill it all on the page once I have it figured out.
Okay.
So that process never really takes me that long because I think about it, like overthink it, and then I put it down on paper. But then like the editing process, like you have to have editing. So that can take a couple months. It just depends. And then reviewing.
How long did your writing of it take? Did you say how many months or?
I don't even think it took me months. Maybe less than a month.
Okay.
Like I said though, like I think about things for a long time, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I can put this down.
It kind of comes all at once.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. But like some of the other projects I work on, like you talked about, like Teach Better, like that style of book, like I have things like that I'm working on that are taking me like a year to actually put down on paper. But picture books never really take me that long. So with this, reviews for a book, that also takes it takes as long as your reviewers, like usually you give them a timeline, like, hey, can you look at this book and review it? Mm-hmm. Let me know what you think. Give me an honest answer. If you read it and you feel like you can't review it, let me know that too. But usually you give people a timeline. There's one project that I'm working on that actually you have looked at, which is like a math related curriculum. So that's taking longer because we wanted to get lots of different perspectives and voices. And with COVID, that project actually got pushed back because people weren't in classrooms to actually use the product. So it was like, okay, so like I said, it just kind of depends on what your project is, how long it'll take you. But I don't think I've ever had anything that was less than a year. That like any project that I've ever done, except for blogging.
That was less than a year.
That was less than a year, yes.
Because
it takes at least a year.
The editing, the review, piecing all together. And that's one of the things. Like when you get the manuscript done and you get the writing done, it's like okay, now not the real work, but a lot of the work doesn't start till then, right? That's when you really start piecing all the things together. And depending on how, especially when you talk about like picture books, like how the pictures come back and do or do not align to what you had in your head, and the back and forth. That back and forth can be a lot. Same with the editing process with the editors. That process can be really time consuming, especially if there's a lot of edits that need to be made and stuff like that. So interesting. Okay, cool. When you're in the mix of that, how does that impact your schedule, your life, like the rest of your life, like particularly your work schedule, your work focus, your time that you have with your family that is being split amongst obviously your work, but also now this, because you got to put a little more focus. Right. Is it a big adjustment for you? Is it something you just kind of got down now? Like, what does that look like?
Usually I'll work like either later at night, like after dinner time, or I'll work super early in the morning before the kids are up. So those are like the two times that I can usually fit stuff in, like writing or blogging or, anything that has to do with like marketing the book, usually those kinds of things. But like I'm very supportive husband. So like right now I get to do this and he is cooking dinner. And so that kind of, he's laughing at me, that kind of support, it really does help because then you can really do the things that need to be done for the writing aspect.
Follow-up question.
Yeah.
What's he cooking for dinner?
I don't actually know. What are you cooking? Pork loin.
Pork? Oh, that's what I was cooking for dinner tonight too. Look at that. We're just on.
I know, it's like we're in sync.
It's crazy.
Can I tell you a story, like backtracking?
Yeah.
So
I love
Choose
stories.
Your Cheer is actually a re-release. That means it was published like previously, and now like if you went on Amazon, you could see it was like so because it wasn't published, it was selling for like $900 because it was no longer released. So anyway, it's a re-release. But when I was working
when was it released before?
In 2015.
By you, or
it was with a different publishing company.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes. So it was re-released, but when I was working with the illustration, like you have to make a storyboard of what you would like on each page to go with your words. So whenever you work with an illustrator, the publishing company usually picks somebody that is based off of like what style you want.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I was working with them, it was really important for me to have a lot of diversity in the book. Like I was very specific about what I wanted the characters to look like and portray. And when I got the manuscript, or I got the illustrations back, every character was white. Every character. And so I actually had to go back. So I had to go back, and I was like one of the characters, I actually wanted to have a character that was in a wheelchair, and like none of my ideas had meshed with what the illustrator wanted to do. And so it was just a point, like in my career, it was early, in my writing career. And I was like, no, this is something that's really important to my story. I'm a teacher of kids. I want kids to see themselves represented in this book. So I need this to happen. And so that made the process go longer. But it was something I was like, I don't want to move forward until I see these ideas come to light. And it's sometimes you can't do that as an author when you put your words out there, and then you got to kind of trust in the process. But if anybody out there is in that situation, like, like what your vision is and what you want to see. And so sometimes that will make the process go longer. But I felt like I really wanted to share that story because, the end product was what I envisioned. And I feel like so many more people are going to be able to relate to the book because of that.
I love that story. And I love that you stuck to what you were envisioning, because I think that's important. You've a couple times you've addressed, like, if anybody's thinking about this, or anybody whatever, or anybody's in this position, which is great, because I was hoping that's where some of this would go to, like, if someone's listening to this or listens later that right. wants to be an author, or is maybe in the process, hopefully they'll grab some value from this. So can you take a minute and just, if someone's listening right now, watching later, and they are like, man, I'm in the classroom, or I'm admin, wherever I'm in education, I'd really love to write. I'd really love to be an author, but I have no idea, like, how to start. How do I start? Like, where do I go from this? I have an idea in my head, but I'm not Brie. I can't just write books left and right, because I haven't done right. I'm having the self-doubt. I'm thinking about how do I even start? Like, what's the first step I need to take?
I think the first thing to do is to write as much as you can down. Like, get all those ideas out and kind of find out what your writing style is. Like, some people keep a journal, they bring it to the beach, they bring it everywhere they go, and they write it. And that just didn't work for me. I needed to be able to type it out. So I have my own personal Gmail account. I make Google Docs, and I title them like working manuscript and what the working title is for the time being. And that way, a lot of times, like, you can't submit to a company to even look at your manuscript if it's not typed out anyway. And sometimes I feel like if you write it down, like if you write down some ideas and then you can type them right away, that works for me. Some people want to just have those notes, like the bedside table journal, like, oh, I woke up and I had this dream and I want to write it down. If you can get that into Google Docs or into something as quickly as you can onto the format that most publishing companies are going to want submissions in. And then kind of find Twitter's a great place to look for publishing companies that are accepting submissions. Like some people won't accept anything without an agent. Some people, only use submissions during certain times. Some people get overloaded with work and they stop accepting submissions. So kind of find out, like Twitter is just a great place just to see. You can see agents, you can see different publishing companies, but just start submitting the work, but make sure that you're doing it in the format they want it. Because if it's not, like if it's not, then it can get tossed out really quickly. There are some that only accept submissions during a certain time frame, like November to February. So it really does take a little bit of digging to kind of figure that out. But once you have as much written as you can, like just having the idea, sometimes people aren't going to pick it up for a new author. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But yeah, tell your story. Like I encourage you to. And if you have questions, reach out. I have my tags there for Twitter. You can find me on Facebook, or even if you are in the Teach Better private Facebook group, you can submit some questions and I will answer them the best that I can.
Now I know you're also a pretty big reader of books.
Yes.
Do you have like a favorite book of all time? What's your favorite book of all time?
My favorite book of all time is Matilda.
Okay. Is that do you go back and have you read it multiple, like time and time again, just over and over again?
Over and over and over again. I have a new author that I kind of gotten stuck on. Like Jodi Picoult was my go-to for a really long time because I loved the research that she did to create her books, and she took a really long time, and that was just fascinating to me. Like she dove into these different worlds, and a lot of them were based on like court cases, and so she had to do like a lot of back, research to create her books. But Kristen Hanna right now is one of the ones that I've been reading. It's a lot of like historical fiction. So again, you have to do some research and you have to tie in the story. But I love just like elaborate storytellers.
Gotcha. Do you ever read nonfiction books? Are you because I found a lot of people are one or the other. Like I don't read those style books. I don't. I just read. I don't read a whole lot. I do a lot. I use my library as like a weird almost like a reference where I pull it when I need it, right? But I know some other people are like, nah, I would never read that style. Even if it's something that they think might bring value to them, they wouldn't, because that's not what they like to read. They like to read. They like to go on an adventure. They like to dive into another world and stuff. Do you read nonfiction style books as well, or no?
Yeah, I do. But mostly education or stuff that's brain based or
professional development field like stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yep.
That's usually.
Very cool. Okay. I'm gonna go to one of these other questions because I want to spur on some stuff here.
Okay.
So, let me actually, without that, let me go to this. So you want to be an author for so long, you knew it was something you're going to do, so you started pursuing it as soon as you were able to. What's been like a bigger surprise, or one of the surprises or things were in the process or in the world of being an author where you went, wow, I never saw that coming, or didn't think that was going to happen? Like anything that's like really surprised you about the process or like what it's like being an author now?
Not that I'm surprised, like shocked, but just like happy surprised that like so many, especially like with the Teach Better family, like people want to hear about my books, or they want to, or they take pictures of their kids with my books. And that's like the biggest compliment that I could ever get. Is like when a kid has my book, I'm just like, that really is amazing. Once I was invited to do like just for my district. I was a different elementary school in our district, and I was invited to like come talk to kids as there. And something that I do a lot is like I do donor shoes or I do grants so that I can get authors like to come to the school, or I can get authors to visit online. And when it was me
to be
like,
the author,
like people want to listen to my book.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Occasionally that like imposter syndrome stuff comes in, and I'm like, okay, you just gotta be happy for yourself. This is happening.
So, all right, I like that. I love that. And that's gotta be such a cool feeling to have the kids holding or the kids being there. That's super cool. So, what? Let's see. This is all a question that we've already asked. We already touched this stuff. Come on now. You already talked about how your family's supportive, surprising things. Oh, just ask that one. Surprising things. This should be good because you've done 3 now, so I can ask. This is a better question of the 3, and this might be a tough one for you. Of the 3 books you've done so far, which one's your favorite? And it's okay. I won't tell either kid if it's one or the other of the ones that's about them. Like we don't need to. Like, what's your favorite book? Do you think?
I think Play Yay Baby Talk, because I feel like it's something that I can go back to when the kids are grown, and I can be like, oh my goodness, like I remember when he said this, or the kids like they'll have that forever, that'll be something special for them. And it's kind of funny, like there's just funny parts in it that make kids laugh, and the world could use a lot more of that.
All right.
Waiting
Alex,
for shenanigans.
Bree, what is something that people do that annoys you?
Oh, when they say it is what it is. That annoys me because it's like, but it doesn't have to be that way. Like if you want it to be different, then we should be taking steps to like change that. So that came pretty fast. So that was
quick. It must be it. So nice. Okay. Can you? This is not that. This is me being interested and curious because I'm not sure that I know how you originally got connected to the team. How did you originally get connected to us? How did that happen? It's been a while, so like I don't know. Do you know? Do you remember?
I do remember. So I went to a gifted conference at the same place where the Teach Better conference was held. It was in the Summit County. And I went with some people from our district, and Tiffany Ott was there. Chad was there. I'm not sure if you were there or not. You might have been there, but like you were giving away a Kindle or something.
Was it the Twice Exceptional?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think it was just me and Tiff. I don't think Chad was actually there.
Okay.
Because Tiff and I, we were in the main room back toward the back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all the way to the back. So I was sitting there with my colleagues, and I got like one of those little Teach Better squishy balls, and so it made me look. And then I started with Mastery Chat, and on Thursday night. So, and I actually think like the first email that you and I had together, I think it was still, instead of at Teach Better, was still at the gridmethod.com.
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. That's pretty cool. So
that was a long time ago, though.
That was, and I remember that. That was It actually wasn't that long ago, but it feels like a long time ago, doesn't it? Like I think.
COVID years.
I think like last year was. Yeah, it was. It feels so long. It's hard to tell how long ago. Interesting. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Shout out to the Summit County ESC. They were an awesome host for the conference too. All right, I'm going into some of these other ones. These the shenanigan ones. So,
Nikki wants the Teach Better stress ball. I saw in the comments.
You don't have a stress ball? Well, you might have to come to Teach Better 2022 to get one. Just saying. What's something you're obsessed with?
Something I'm obsessed with. I think books. Probably books. I'm obsessed. honestly, if you ask any of my teaching colleagues, I have so many books in my classroom and like shelves full of them in my house. And if I won the lottery, my husband just said this. He was like, if you won the lottery, what would you build? And I would build one of those big, like Beauty and the Beast libraries
with the ladder and everything.
With the with the ladder. You knew exactly where I was going. Yeah, with the ladder where you go around, and that would just be beautiful. I would love that.
That I could totally see you doing that. All right, what's your favorite number, Bree?
My favorite number is 8. And it's because, my family has some sort of thing with 8. So, like, my husband and I were married on October 18th. My son was born 18th. My husband was born December 18th. And then my other son was born on the 28th. So I couldn't just make it 18 because, the second one had to be difficult and not easy.
Okay. Let's see here. What is something that's popular right now but annoys you?
Crop tops.
Crop tops. All right, we'll take it.
Yeah. Super annoys me.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm never gonna wear a crop top, so.
If you had intro music that like played every time you came into a room, what would that intro music be?
I think it would be the intro music from the movie Matilda.
That makes sense. That adds up.
It does, yeah. I think Megan Wells, though, if she is still watching, she had a different suggestion for me at one time. Like what my intro music would be. It was some like party song.
Some party song. Okay,
yeah,
we're gonna get watch and we want to know what it should be, and we'll change it to that.
Right.
Let's see here. This is a good one. Who's your favorite entertainer? Like a comedian, musician, actor. Who's your favorite?
Actually, my husband and I just went and saw Fortune. I think her last name is Feinster in Columbus, and she was amazing, like super funny. Teacher
comedian?
Joe,
Okay.
She's a comedian, yeah. She was also on like what was it, Parenthood?
Gotcha.
Oh, Life in Pieces. She was on Life in Pieces.
Gotcha.
But I don't know how to say Joe's last name, but the teacher Joe, who's also a comedian, Marie McCumber and I, a fellow ambassador, we went and saw him in Columbus as well. So
okay.
I like to laugh.
Let's see. This will be fun. This could go wherever. So we'll see where you take us here. What is a controversial opinion that you have? You can choose where you want to go with this. Remember, it's brain break.
I know. I know. We're on brain break. I don't know. I feel like I'm in trouble if I say what I think. But
how about this? How about we'll do this. We'll do controversial, but we'll do food related. What's something that you like a combination of food that you like that either gets you like not necessarily laughed at, but like people are like, no, you don't do that, but like that's like a controversial food combo that you like.
Yes, I can answer that super easy because I answered the ambassadors and I actually have this joke about some controversial foods. But I had if you have a hamburger with crunchy peanut butter.
Ooh.
And Ray told me she would never eat it, but I think that she should.
Ooh.
Try it. It's really good. Yeah, it sounds really weird, but it is awesome. You put your cheese on like regular burger, but you top layer crunchy peanut butter.
I could totally do that. Interesting.
If you do, let me know what you think.
Yeah,
it's
so
actually very good.
I was planning to do fish tonight for dinner, or actually I was planning to do pork, but I didn't have a pork tenderloin. I thought I did, I didn't. So then I was like, oh, I'll do fish. And I'm like, pretty sure now I might do burgers just so I can put peanut butter on them. which would be
You should.
awesome in my house because my daughter hates peanut butter. Like when I open it up, she starts yelling from the room, "Come on, Dad!" Like she hates peanut butter and peanuts. So that would be awesome because she likes hamburgers. So I'd be ruining something she likes. Interesting. Okay. How about let's see. Let's see. What's one I got? What's one I got? Hold on, I got one. I'm looking for a decent one. I don't like these. What's your favorite season?
Fall.
Fall.
I love when school starts.
Yeah, I like fall too.
I love fall. I'm always like, Brian, do you smell that? Fall's coming. Like as soon as the first leaf starts thinking about changing color.
What's the most disgusting habit somebody could have?
I think picking their nose. I think it's because I'm a teacher and I see it all the time. I'm like, that's so gross. Please go wash your hands. Like even when every kid had a mask on, somehow they figured out how to do it. It's less noticeable though.
Okay. Well, anyway, where is the worst place you've ever
figure
been?
It out. Yeah.
Where's the worst place you've ever been stuck for a long time? Have you ever had anything ever trapped in an elevator or anything like that?
Yeah. I don't think so. Worst place I've ever been stuck. I would say in my own negative thoughts. Is that too deep for brain?
That's pretty
David's
deep.
gonna fire me.
That was deep. It was deep. It was deep enough, but we're gonna move on, so it's gonna be okay. We're gonna get past it. The correct answer is here on Brain Break with you, Jeff. That's the correct answer. So, all right.
No, this is fun. This is good.
If you had to change your name, what would you change your name to?
Oh, Carmela.
Carmela. I can see you as a Carmela.
Yeah.
How about this?
My mom was gonna name me.
What was she gonna name you?
Quintina Ramona.
Quintina.
My maiden name was Cantido. Yeah.
Cantina.
So it would have been Quintina Ramona Cantido. Yeah.
Say that fast a few times.
Right? That's why she didn't do it.
What is something that annoys you, but most people don't seem to care about? I always have trouble with this one because I don't have.
When people walk really slow.
Oh, walking really slow. Yeah, that bothers me too. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I got places to go.
Do you know who walks slow?
Gotta do all the things.
You know who walks slow?
Who?
Chad Ostrowski walks really slow.
Chad.
I don't know why. He walks slow. It's either that he walks slow or I walk fast. But it was always an issue. Whenever we visit in school, whatever, I'm like, dude, where are you at? Come on, dude. And he's just like, I'm just
get down the hallway.
I don't know. Maybe I think it's because I'm like you. I'm like, I got stuff to do. I gotta go. Come on. All right. Oh, here's a good one. What's a word or a saying, a phrase, whatever from the past, when we were when you're teenagers or whatever, that you think should come back?
Oh, cool beans. For sure.
I agree.
Ask Sarah Thomas. We were gonna get a shirt made that said "Cool Beans" on it.
I like it. Well, some of these are just they're trying to get deep. Get out of here. I don't want deep thoughts. We want goofball thoughts here. This could be a good one. What's a silly fear you have? You have anything that you're afraid of that's just ridiculous that you're scared of it?
I don't know. I don't have a ton of fears. That's a one.
What's that?
I don't like touching chicken. Is that a fear? I don't like touching chicken. Raw chicken.
Yeah, I don't know that it's a fear, but it's a little silly. But I get it. I know some people that don't like. Would you just not like the texture?
The fear salmonella.
So you're afraid of salmonella. That's
Right.
why you don't like touching chicken?
Yeah,
Because
I don't like it.
salmonella?
It's slimy. Yeah, it's gross.
Okay. Alex, no. It's not. He's not
I
looking
like
for new
that.
connections. He's looking for food. He's typically looking for food. All right, I got one or two more here for you. Let's go. Let's see.
Okay.
Oh, come on. Give me something good here. Google? What is this? Oh, this is good. This will be fun. What's a weird or useless talent that you have?
I'm not sure. Brian,
I'm not
what's
talented.
a
I don't
talent
know.
that I have? What do you think? That's not a talent. He said I don't know how to relax, but that's really not a talent. Like overworking,
I don't think that's a
I
talent.
don't think that's a talent, and not useless either. That's not useless.
No. Enough. Like I don't know that I have an answer to that either for myself. I don't think I just don't. But I don't think I'm talented. So that's maybe why. That's the problem. I don't know.
You're very talented.
All right. I got one. I'm gonna throw one more at you. Then we're gonna
Okay.
bring over. Oh, this is interesting. I like this one. What's your favorite TV show? What's your favorite TV show of all time? Not currently, of all time.
It's a toss-up between Friends and How I Met Your Mother.
Oh my
For sure.
I should have known that because you and I are just there because it's the
Right.
same for me. That's probably the same for me. What Burn Notice is up there too. I'm a huge Burn Notice fan. I don't know if you watched Burn Notice. It was an old USA show. Had 7 or 8 seasons, but really good. What's your favorite movie of all time, other than Matilda?
Other than Matilda. You want a grown-up answer? My Life is a House.
What is that? I don't think I've ever seen that.
I don't know. It was it's kind of I'm not the best person for brain break. I don't have funny stuff.
Tell me about what is My Life as a House? What is that?
It's an older movie, and it's about a guy that has cancer and kind of reconnecting with his kids. And so, like I said, it's
quick going deep.
Yeah. Sorry.
Do you have any guilty pleasure of TV shows or anything? Do you watch any the reality shows or anything like that? Is that something you get into?
I do. I
Which
listened
one?
to you and Dave's brain break where you were no to reality shows. I actually do watch The Bachelor and Bachelorette shows. Maybe some Teen Mom sometimes.
Maybe. I think you said maybe.
Maybe. I definitely don't follow any of them on Instagram. My brain is works all the time, and so it's just something that I don't really have to think about or figure out. It's just
Total
mind
escape.
Yeah.
Now, did you get into the dance moms and cheer mom stuff like that too, or no?
I didn't. No, I coached cheerleading for a year. I did all the seasons. So I did competition, and I did fall and winter, and then I actually ran a cheer competition for a couple years after that. But I got pregnant with Max, and then I didn't do that anymore. But
were you a cheerleader when you were younger, or how did you get?
I
into that
was,
role?
yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense. Okay,
Yep.
gotcha. Interesting.
Yep.
Now, where are you from originally? Where did you go to school and stuff? High school? Were you? In Ohio? Yes.
I was in Ohio, yeah, near Youngstown, but the rural area. I graduated from Crestview High School.
Crestview. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay.
My husband did too.
What's that?
My husband did.
As well. Okay. Yeah. Well, I graduated from Champion, was down in Warren. So.
Oh, yeah, super close.
Went to Youngstown State. Interesting. All right. Cool. Let me ask you this. Last question. Then we're gonna go for sure. We're gonna go for real.
Okay.
We're gonna find one decent one, and then we're gonna go out of here. You're gonna finish strong. And it's gonna
Okay.
be great.
Nothing deep. I'm gonna take a drink of my drink.
I'm gonna make it. Well, it's probably not gonna be easy or hard. I don't know. What is the most underrated TV show of all time? Like you can't really say like because Friends and How I Met Your Mother were both highly rated shows, so that doesn't count.
Right.
So like there's another one that you're like, man, I love that show. I thought it was really good, but like the critics didn't like it. It never like took off. Like
and then we're like, man, I got canceled. I like the show Revenge.
Oh yeah, that was like it was a big hit right off the bat, and then it kind of
they kind of like fizzled out.
Yeah.
But they had it on Netflix, and we watched it.
How many seasons did they get?
I don't know. I think 5.
Well, that's not a bad run. It's not a bad
no,
run. They didn't really take off, huh? What about overrated? Like, what's a TV show that you think is so like everyone loves, and you're just like, I just don't get it?
Oh, I don't know. There was like American Idol. I was not a huge American Idol, but I watched Dancing with the Stars.
Interesting. So what's it's just because the dancing interests you more than the singing, probably? I mean, that's how I would.
Yeah, I mean, I probably have ADHD, so like the dancers like are always moving, and then like you have to like wait for the next performance and like listen to like the in between. You know, I don't know what the producer stuff. Yeah. And then like when people don't get it, I'm like, oh, I feel so bad for them. Like I want to invite them to sing because that's just who I am.
You can come to my house and sing.
I know, like I'll buy your CD. Like
I'll do a golden ticket. You can have it.
All right. Well, that was your thing. You were the music guru.
Yeah. So I kind of fought American Idol for a little while just because I was like, oh, I'm not supposed to like it because I'm a musician. And I'm like,
right.
But I love just listen to people sing and stuff like that. It's always fun to hear different takes on songs and unique voices or unique styles. Like I actually like when that's like on and I'm like not watching it, but like in somewhere in the house it's on or whatever, and then I'll be like, oh, like I'll hear a voice. I'm like, oh, like just like catches you, and I'm like, all right, I'm watching now. So I enjoy that. They really build up some of the drama stuff, which I get is good TV. It is what it is, but
right.
What do you?
I'm the same as you. I don't really particularly just stick with one genre of music. Like I really like songs and like the storytelling through songs. And so like I would catch things like on Facebook or like replays where I would watch like some of the performances, just not the like whole thing all the way through.
I really enjoy on YouTube you can go like they do a lot with that X Factor ones, sometimes with American Idol too, where they'll piece together like the entire journey of the winner. Someone. I like watching that because I like seeing how their confidence changes, how their style changes, how their range. Like it's really cool to watch that progression. I kind of skip through a lot of the drama and stuff in it, but I get into the progression and seeing it, so it's good to see. But anyway.
You'll be able to do that with Teach Better. You'll be able to like piece together all the videos and all the things like from the grid method on. Oh, I can see like at the Teach Better conference, like cue the lights.
Interesting. Well, maybe we'll have to look at that. Well, we were looking back at stuff fairly recently. I can't remember what it was. Just looking back, being like, whoa, like it wasn't that long ago, but it looks and feels like it was forever ago. And I like to think that we've come a long way, so that's good.
Right. It has. Like I've been now. I get to be a part of the journey, but just even watching.
You've been a part of the journey for a long time now. I'll tell you what. You've watched so much of it. So awesome. Well, I'm so glad you were able to jump on and join me today. I'm so excited for you with the book out, and apparently more to come, which I'm going to leave everyone in suspense for that.
Right.
Love having you as an ambassador and part of the family, which I meant to mention earlier. Like you're lead ambassador of, I should know the title. Lead ambassador of professional. Yeah. So you just put on your first PD session last week where Kevin Butler joined our ambassadors. I think we can say that went well. It was really awesome. So that's super cool. So love having you there and just being part of it, and obviously blogging and everything like that. So super excited to get you. Hold on. We got a last minute question from Alex and a fellow ambassador. We've got to get it. So he says, Sabri, what are you going to do tomorrow night since there isn't going to be Teach Better chat? Thanks for making us all cry, Alex.
Oh,
what are you gonna do? She's going to write. I know that. Probably.
Right. That Teach Better has so many opportunities for you to jump in during the week and catch up with the team. So It's just a see you later. It's not a goodbye, right?
I like it. So what are you
But
doing?
I'm probably going to sleep.
You're probably going to sleep.
Yeah.
Go to bed 2 hours earlier. That's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So, So no chat tomorrow night. But we do have daily drop in tomorrow morning. I should know. Let me look real quick so I can tell you who's on tomorrow morning. Who's on tomorrow morning? Tomorrow morning is, oh man, Carly Spina's on tomorrow morning.
Oh,
so
I'm gonna have
Carly
to tune
tomorrow
in.
morning, 7 a.m. Eastern time. Make sure you catch that every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and also on the Teach Better Talk podcast being played there as well. And Friday, another fellow ambassador, Nomini, is going to be taking over our Teach Better team Instagram. So all Friday is all Nomini jumping in. She's taking over. I think there's some rules, but I'm going to say there's no rules. She can do whatever she wants. So Friday's going to be a lot of fun to see her kind of take over and share her life on the Teach Better Team Instagram account. So that's going to be a lot of fun too. So make sure you check that out. And we'll be back next week, same time, same place here at 5 o'clock Eastern time for Brain Break. I think Dave's going to be there next week. We'll see if Dave bothers to show up or if we'll find someone else. But, you have to tune in to find out. Bree, thank you so much. Congrats on the new book. Appreciate you so much. And
thank you.
We will see you all later.
Bye.